If planning your homeschool year makes you want to hide in the pantry with chocolate, you are not alone. I'm Krisi Clover, and I'm so excited to encourage you with this one simple truth. You can homeschool. I've been homeschooling for over 15 years now, and this June, we're actually graduating our third child from our homeschool. That is 3 down and 2 to go. So I know firsthand that homeschool planning can feel exciting and intimidating and overwhelming all at the same time. And I'm thrilled to be the MC and one of the featured speakers at CHEA's Parenting and Homeschool Convention this year, and really every year. At this point, they can't get rid of me. But today, I want to help you to take some of the stress out of your planning for your homeschool year and remind you that you can plan well without completely overwhelming yourself before you even begin. Because let's be honest, planning sounds simple until you start looking at all the curriculum and subjects and all the schedules and all of the options and all of the what ifs and what if I miss something and what if I fall behind and what if I pick the wrong curriculum? And then here's my favorite that everybody asks at some point, what if I'm not doing enough? And before you know it, you're not just planning a homeschool year, planning every hour of every day, creating elaborate checklists, trying to fit in every subject, every activity, every book, every enrichment idea, and suddenly homeschool feels really heavy before you even opened your first math book. So where do you begin? My suggestion is to begin simply. The goal of homeschool planning is not to create a perfect plan. The goal is to create a flexible roadmap that helps you feel confident and prepared. A good plan gives you direction, but it also leaves room for real life. So the first place to start is with the big picture. So ask yourself, what subjects do I need to cover this year? What are the main goals for each child? And what matters most in this season? You don't have to plan every tiny detail right away. Start by just looking at your whole year. Think through your family calendar, your outside commitments, and whether you can actually anticipate any busy seasons coming up, because sometimes they sneak in without any planning. So you got to leave room for that. But then our next step is to begin choosing curriculum and resources that are going to support those goals, not curriculum that makes you feel like you have to do everything. And this is where I want to gently warn you about one of the biggest planning mistakes homeschool parents make, and that's over planning. It is so easy to overplan because we're always afraid we're going to miss something. But more is not always better. Sometimes more creates stress. Sometimes more keeps us from enjoying the very freedom that homeschooling gives us. Even more fun things can be too much. I love all the fun extras as much as anyone, but don't let the crafts and field trips and read alouds and enrichment ideas become the straw that breaks your homeschool's back. One of the best things you can do as you plan your year is to look for that overlap. For example, if history curriculum includes a lot of reading and writing, then you may not need to add an intense writing program on top of that. Or if your child is reading historical fiction that connects to your history studies, then reading may also count towards literature. Science may include notebooking and written summaries. Bible might include memory work, handwriting, copy work, or discussion. A read aloud might support history or language arts or worldview and family connection all at once. So homeschooling can give us this beautiful freedom to integrate subjects instead of treating every subject like it has to live on its own separate box. So as you plan, ask yourself, am I covering this subject anywhere else? In fact, I try to look for curriculum that covers more than one subject. This doesn't mean we ignore important subjects. It means that we don't have to duplicate efforts until everyone is exhausted. A simple homeschool plan usually includes a few key pieces. First, know your required subjects and your family goals. Second, choose curriculum and resources that fit your child and the season. Third, create a simple weekly rhythm. And fourth, leave margin. That margin is important because life happens. Someone will get sick, a child will need extra help, or my favorite, your child gets really interested in what they're learning about, and you want to take that extra time to just dig into what you're learning a little deeper. That's not failure. That's homeschooling. So instead of planning every moment, create a plan that gives you direction while you still allow wiggle room. You are allowed to adjust. You're allowed to slow down. You're allowed to simplify. And hey, here's one of my favorites. You are allowed to skip something if it's unnecessary or repetitive. This is actually where my power of the X tip comes in. It's okay to cross things off the list. I love check boxes, but I don't want to become a slave to them. So I just put an X through things that I don't want to cover. For more help getting started, visit CHEA's website and go to the Start Here section at CHEAofCA.org. You'll find resources to help you take your next step with confidence. And be sure to attend the free intro to homeschooling sessions that are at the annual CHEA Parenting and Homeschool Conventions in July. It's a wonderful place to learn, ask questions, get encouraged, and connect with other homeschool families. And if planning and organizing your homeschool is an area that you'd love a little more help, I have a free 3-day homeschool reset that walks you through simple steps to refresh your mindset, routines, and homeschool space. You can find that at krisiclover.com/reset. I hope to see you at the CHEA Convention. And remember, you can homeschool and CHEA can help.